Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. It's me, spiritual medium Kellee White, and psychotherapist and author. And today is July 3rd, 2025. So I have to ask the big question, is it intense enough for everybody? It's not going to get less intensive. It's going to continue to be pretty intense. So I kind of wanted just to take a temperature of everybody and see how everybody's doing, because these energies that I'm going to talk about for July are getting heated up, and it's going to continue. We have a lot of planetary energy. It's causing a lot of havoc, as they say, in a lot. And it will be personally and outside socially. So it's a lot of things going on. But let me say hi to a few people here. Hi, Vera from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Well, thank you. Is writing your contract to learn certain things when you come to this side the same as destiny? Yes. Is writing. So being a writer or writing absolutely could be in your contract. It could be that you've come to write a book like that. It's no doubt that that's what I had come to do. One of the things. And it can absolutely be your destiny. So keep writing, Vera, because we need writers out there. Okay, keep writing, honey. Ophelia, hi, Ophelia. I love that name. Hi, Sylvia from Liverpool, England. Wow, my husband passed on June 5th. I'm so sorry, honey. Can I have a card for him? Yeah, and I just need to know he's okay. It's October 9th. Yeah, oh, your birthday is October 9th. I usually start this stuff later, but I'm going to look at this now. October 9th is a King of Clubs with a Four of Hearts, which means you must have been very, very, very attached to your husband here. So, yeah, let me get you a card, honey, from your husband. Yes, he made it okay. I have a mother on that side with him. It says there, he says there is no such thing as death. It's so funny. Right when they pass, they always come through and say that I'm not dead. I mean, the body's not here, but their soul is very, very, very much alive, okay? And you'll have pay attention to your dreams. You'll start to get signs from people. Ophelia says, can I get a card to my son, Annabelle? His birthday is June 15th, and he's having a hard time. Yes, let me get him a card, although I'm going to use these right now, the Angel Number Oracle. I love these cards. I got a thing about these cards. But then I'm going to start talking about the astrology. So let me just get these cards up for your. Oh, and his birthday is July. What did you say? July 15. So July 15, which is coming up. You know, this is a tough period of time. Oh boy, yeah. King of Clubs, 2 King of Clubs in a row. So King of Clubs is about a lot of responsibility in that. They think they have the best brain and the most intuition. You know, they take on an awful lot, but tell him it's going to be okay. He'll move through a lot of things, but let's get him an angel card. Ah! Okay, this is perfect, Ophelia. This is perfect. 4444. That is the angel number. Triumph. So you take a picture of this, sweetheart, and make sure he knows that he's going to be okay. We all move through things, and these are difficult times. I mean, frankly, they're very difficult times. Okay, so hi, Renee Rossiter. How are you? Renee, we did hear you, and I am going to be doing a show on flower essences and making your own stuff and all of that coming up. She said, I was guided hearing the music of the spheres and had a vision of the angels creating astrology charts like music based on the planets. Oh, does astrology tie into music ever? Ooh, I love that, Renee. So let me think about that. Yes, it absolutely would tie into that. It all comes together. It all makes sense. It's all a creative force here. And let's see. When I first had my head injury, not first, but maybe a year or two after, I started hearing the music of the spheres. And then when I met Don, and the music of the spheres, everybody, is this celestial chorus, if you will. It's extraordinary to hear that. In fact, it was so loud that my mom heard it. My mother was pretty much deaf, and she heard it. And then it got really loud, and my mom was like, tell them to turn that down. It's too loud, because it was like, it really was deafening. They really wanted us to know. But my point was, about a year later, after I met Don, who is a musician, my husband, this song started coming to me, this angelic realm song. I don't know how to describe it. I am not a musician whatsoever. Um, Genetically, I'm connected to a lot of musicians, but I am not a musician. But between Donna and me, we put together this beautiful piece. And so, absolutely, Music of the Fears opens us up. And I love the idea of you doing a chart somehow based on music. I'd have to figure out how that works, but you're on to something. Keep going with that, okay? Thank you for sharing that. That's so cool. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sherry Craft. You had an odd dream. Well, the doctor's in. I was on the pouch of some future house. What's a pouch? I think you mean a couch. I'm guessing, unless you're sitting on a pouch. Or maybe you were sitting on a pouch of some future house. And a brown bear and a polar bear walked inside and sat on the sofa. They were very nice bears. I was accepting the brown. Okay. Well, bears are very important because they bring a stability to our life, and they bring a special energy of moving obstacles often, walking us through things. So this is a really in the future. So this is a great dream. It would put you in a place that you need to be with security around, like in a happy place. This is very good. Great dream. Oh my gosh. Sasha says, Kelly, hello. I'm keen to align with my destiny and explore the possibilities. My wife, Renee, oh my gosh, makes my destiny more beautiful and special every day. I am blessed. Okay, Sasha, if you're married to Renee, you are blessed. That is for darn sure. Let's get you an angel number card too, just because I got them out. And it says 4141 habit. So you might want to look at your habits and change your habits to something really positive. You know, that's a good one right there. That's a really good one. So everybody, I'm going to start on the astrology. Hi, Carolyn and Rick East. How are you? Oh my gosh. Okay, Jean, I have to say hi to Jean. Jean, looking forward to insight and compassion. Much love to you. And Renee, really, Jean, it was just great to see you the other day. And it was great to see you, Carrie, and Rick too. So let me get into the astrology because there's a lot I have to say. And I'm going to answer as many questions as I can and give out as many cards as I can, all of that. But let's talk about this July because no other words I have to describe this kind of energy other than it's intense. Now, I'm sure you all are feeling it. This energy this month, it's probably the hardest month that we have. I mean, not that August and September are a picnic. They won't be. But July is like a hitting head on of intense energy. And some of the things that are possible this month, I mean, it's intense. It would be a terrorism attack, social unrest, war. When I say intense, this is this kind of energy. Okay, and I'm going to explain why that is. I mean, we have lots of activity, okay, going on. We have first, and I'm going to talk about this first. Well, I've got so many things to talk about. We've got Saturn, which is the planet of karma and destiny and responsibility. And it's so intense, Saturn. And Neptune, the dreamy planet, the planet of spirituality, but also illusion. And Mercury, the fastest moving planet of communication. They're all retrograde. They're going to be retrograde at this really close to the same time here. And it starts actually with Neptune, which is already stationing today and it retrogrades tomorrow, but it's stationing for several days before it. The illusion is that it goes backwards. And that's when we say retrograde. The illusion is that it's going backwards. No planet goes backwards. It slows down. And when it slows down so much, it gets really close to Earth. And when that happens, it gives the illusion that it's going backwards. But what it does is it holds this intense energy. So we've got 3 major planets retrograde that will be retrograde. We have Jupiter, the largest planet, the planet that brings, good things, the benefic planet. It brings good things. It's the spiritual guru. It's like, can we all get along? Here we go. Except right now, it's combust the sun. What does that mean? It means it's too close to the sun. And so all of the energy that Jupiter would normally provide to bring some good luck, good fortune, those kind of things in, has been tampered with the sun. It's just too much on Jupiter, the sun. And when this happens, in fact, there's a great app, and I think it's free. And what did I have? I have this app on my phone. If you want to watch the planets in real time where they are, it is called, I forgot to write it down, it's called Sky View. And I go out with my little phone and I'm looking at these planets, and because I'm going to talk about the conjunct planets, the planets that are conjunct right now. And you will see this if you get Sky View. I'm pretty sure it's a free app. It is wild, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So we've got Jupiter is combust too close to the sun, and that makes it very weak. Not helpless, but kind of. And then we still have until the end of July a huge situation, and that's Mars, which is the planet of war, is conjunct, which means like right next to, pretty much close to the same degree, and K2, which is the south node, which is a higher degree of Mars. So you take Mars and its older parent, okay, and it's like, whoa, it's intense. And it will be an exact conjunction on July 20th. So that's huge, we're going to talk about. And then there's a yod that comes up towards the end. And a yod is, they call that the finger of God. And astrologically, it's a specific planetary configuration where two planets are in a 60 degrees apart. And then there's another quincunx aspect to it, to a third planet. And it actually ends up looking like a finger of God. But that means fated events. So, do I have your attention? It's an intense time, very intense time. So Mars and K2 right now that are conjunct together, they're traveling together till the end of July. I think it's July 28th. And it's in Leo. So Leo is associated with fire. And there will probably be a lot of fire situations that come up. So let's talk about the 4th of July tomorrow. Please, watch everybody's energy, because the fire element is there. There could be a lot of fire related accidents with explosives, because Mars is explosive, K2 is really explosive, and K2 is known as the headless demon. It doesn't care. So it could be a very, very powerful situation tomorrow on the 4th of July. It could be very intense because they're in Leo, which is a fire sign. It actually makes all the experiences a little more volatile and a little more intense. So we're feeling this energy, right? We're feeling this intensity energy. So that's the overlay, is we've got Mars and K2 and Mars conjunct. So through the end of the year, I'm sorry, please God, no, through the end of July. No. But also, because that's not enough, which began on June 24th, we've got all the way till August 12th, June 24th to August 12th, Jupiter, planet right now that's combust the sun, Jupiter. It's in Gemini. I'm talking Vedic astrology, everybody. So in Vedic astrology, it enters a new nakshatra, called Ardra. And Jupiter is a large planet, and it does bring spirituality, and it brings some extraordinary things. And right now, until August 12th, it is in this nakshatra, this celestial house, if you will, called Ardra. And Ardra actually means teardrop. And that is ruled by the deity Rudra. And that deity rules storms. So expect deep emotional storms to come up, storms coming up, powerful weather, because this is, when I say intensity, like, it's so funny. I just did an intensive for Roots of Healing. I just did an intensive in Los Angeles, and it was very transformational. And so when I say intensity energy can lead to great healings and great transformation, which is why we come to Earth. We don't come to stay the same. We come to grow and change. And how do we grow and change? Often it's through struggle, it's through intensity, it's through surviving some challenging times. And I think that's what this month represents, some real deep, challenging times, actually. So this kind of energy with Jupiter in Gemini in this powerful nakshatra called Ardra, it will align everybody's soul purpose. It will help to align your purpose. And so the energy actually means, it represents change and destruction and transformation. Ultimately, why? So we can have emotional awakenings, we can have breakthroughs, and we can have spiritual growth. There you go. So that's the Jupiter in Gemini in the nakshatra Ardra, which is going to be, it already is, it's intense. And so here we go with another one, because that was not enough. I'm telling you, this month is just put your seatbelt on and please pack patience and be kind as you can, because everybody will have the ability to suddenly explode and blow up. Okay. I know from good experience because I've been doing it. And I'm sorry that I have, but it sometimes just comes up and out. So from June 26th that we just had today, July 3rd, to July 7th, so June 26th all the way to July 7th, we've got Venus and Uranus in Taurus, in Vedic astrology, in Taurus, in the nakshatra called Kritika, and they are in conjunction. Just like I'm going to be talking about with Mars and Ketu in conjunction. That's why I love you guys to get this. I think it's a free app called Skyview, because you can see the planets practically on top of each other. It's wild to see. So these two that come together, and this happened today, and we know that this bill passed today. And so this Venus and Uranus in the Kritika nakshatra, and the strongest day of the conjunction has been July 1st to the 4th, which means we're not out of this energy. Still goes to the 7th, but to July 4th, the strongest. It means to create instability. This is what's happening. So there'll be, in society, there'll be a big change. I mean, on a larger scale, this goes with social shifts, like it makes social shifts, and it changes things, how they've been valued. And so this is what is happening, because Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is a planet of shock, surprise, and it brings this rebellious and radical change energy. Okay. And in Taurus, it has to do with finances and relationships and security. So these would be unexpected shifts and then a reevaluation of values. And then in this nakshatra, Kritika, and in Venus, it has to do with finances and relationships. In Taurus, normally it's a great place for Taurus, and it is. But right now, we're in a major social change right here because of this nakshatra called Kritika. And that energy is actually, interesting enough, it's associated with the deity called Agni, which is fire. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. Agni is fire. Again, fire, what does fire do? It means transformation, purification. So watch how you nourish yourself and how you nourish others during this very volatile time. Is really what I'm painting a picture of, a lot of volatility. Because we have, again, Venus, which I would say is a planet of love, also has a lot to do with financials. And Uranus, which is really a heavy-hitting shock kind of energy. And they are traveling together. It's really strong today and tomorrow. And then, but it goes till July 7th. So that will actually have us look at our security. How secure are we? How secure are we in relationships? How secure are we in the world? It'll have us looking at that kind of a thing. And I'm not done yet. There are other things going on here. So on July 4th, tomorrow, July 4th, and I know in the United States it's 4th of July, and it's a big day tomorrow, because Neptune actually will go retrograde tomorrow. I mean, it's already started. You can already feel the energy, and it's that station energy that's pretty intense. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be traveling, and we'll talk about that. This is a retrograde in Pisces. And the first few days of this Neptune stationing is going to be very powerful, which is where we are now. Now, Neptune rules water, emotions, water, emotions. It rules oil, and it rules tsunamis. And so this could bring up a situation with oil, with gas, oil. It could make us look at reality, because when Neptune retrogrades, Neptune is illusions. And so it will have us looking at like what's really going on. It's almost like the rose-colored glasses come off. And so this is an extraordinary time for emotional release. So if you have felt like crying, chances are you're probably going to be crying, because it's a very intense time. Now, it also, what it does is when Neptune retrogrades, when all planets retrograde, but Neptune brings us back to look at issues. It could be issues of addiction. It could be issues of emotions that we've kept under and we haven't looked at. So compassion for what you've been through is the key to everything. So you really want to look at compassion for others and compassion for yourself. And write down your dreams, because boy, you're probably going to be having all kinds of dreams that come up. So just because this is what it does, it brings back things. So it may crack us open for to see, have a greater awareness with what's really going on under the hood there. And the other thing that's really important is that Saturn actually is going to be going retrograde on the July 13th. But before I say that, Saturn and Neptune are conjunct. They are conjunct until February of 2026. So Saturn that means they're traveling together, just like Venus and Uranus are coming together and Mars and Ketu are together. Well, guess what? Saturn and Neptune are together. Again, get that Skyview app. It's wild. And to see these planets on top of each other, it's just unbelievable. So Saturn is karma. Saturn is responsibility, and it's structure. And Neptune is all about illusions and dreams and spirituality. Okay, but this is a conjunction of two completely contrasting energies. Think this, like you're with this wise old sage with responsibility, and then you got this other person there that is all about, kind of crazy adventures and not thinking straight and possibly drugs and alcohol, and put those two together. Okay. And they have to stay together. So think like that, because this is going to be a real, as we say, I used to always say, come to Jesus moment. It probably will be for a lot of people. But Saturn brings reality and Neptune brings fantasy. And so it's really time to look at what's really going on as opposed to what you would like to see. So that's personally. Out in the world, this kind of conjunction can bring explosions, can bring earthquakes, tsunamis. So it's a very powerful transit with the two of them together. Okay. So on July 10th, I'm only at July 10th right now. It feels like all of this in a small amount of time, it's too much. That's why I'm saying this energy is intense and a lot. So on July 10th, we have a full moon. Now, some full moons, I'll say, put your crystals out. Okay. Yeah. Not, this is what I'm saying now. No, don't even think like this. Good thing to do would be to stay in prayer, meditate, have really good thoughts. Think this is where we really need to put the most incredible energy out on the planet and around ourselves, our loved ones. This is the way to work with this kind of energy. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot during this period of time. Okay. So this is pretty much a very intense full moon, and it brings a lot of heightened emotions because it's in the nakshatra called Purva Ashada, and that actually means declarations of war. And it's in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is all about justice. So this could be a very intense full moon situation. Just intense. So not a time to put your crystals out, really a time to go inward, meditate, say the most incredible prayers that you can in meditations that I think really do help, because it calms everybody down, and it's a good thing. So on July 13th, all the way until October 18th, Saturn, which I've just been talking about, karma, responsibility, it goes retrograde. And so again, it will appear that it's going slower, but it's not. I mean, it is going slower. It's just not going backwards. So Saturn is the planet of karma and discipline, and it's in Pisces. So it's in Pisces, it will force us to go inward. And you may feel like isolating during this time. In fact, frankly, the whole month, you're probably going to feel like isolating. The whole damn month. Just go in and shut the door. So, but this has a heavy influence to it, a heavy karmic influence, because it brings up events from the past, from our life, unfinished business, things that you needed to do and you haven't taken care of, like real things that make you look at, to rethink your life. And when you rethink your life, you may have feelings of guilt or shame or I don't know, any of these emotions that come up. Just look at them, and what you want to do is work through them, and because you want to let go of as many things as you can to heal. Okay, so it brings a maturity to the way you think, and that's this month is really about kind of a forced maturity, if you will. So, but this also impacts mental health, and really that Saturn and Neptune going back together also really affects mental health. So I want everybody to take good care of their mental health. And if you need a break, take a break. If you need an off day, take it. Because this energy, everybody will probably be bombarded with it. So on July 16th, in Vedic astrology, the sun transits into Cancer. And Cancer is all about nurturing. So during this period of time, and it's in Saturn, I'm sorry, it's in, the sun is in Cancer until August 17th. So nurture yourself, absolutely nurture yourself throughout this whole period, frankly. And then again, we still have this Mars-Ketu conjunction, and Mars and Ketu in Leo all the way till about July 28th. And that is a very intense, I know I sound like a broken record using that word. I've got to think of a better vocabulary than that, but I can't think of a better word to describe it. But the exact conjunction of Mars and Ketu, so it's already in conjunction. They're traveling together. But the exact date is July 20th. And so in that conjunction is in the nakshatra called Purva Thaguni. And that's considered a time period that could bring war or terrorism or violence. And it may spark global and unexpected situations across the world. And if you may, I know we all remember September 11th, and Mars was also conjunct Ketu during that time period. And that was in Sagittarius, also a fire sign. And it was in a different nakshatra. However, this nakshatra is equally as intense. So it's just a time period to be. My mother-in-law, bless her heart, she used to say, Don's mother used to say, look around, look around. I've got that in my head. I get in my car, I look around. I drive, I look around. So kind of keep that in mind. And that's a good one from Blanche. So that's a good one. And because again, things are leading up to some potential terrorist attacks this month. So July 18th, Mercury actually goes retrograde. Now we've all heard about Mercury retrograde, where it's Mercury's, and it's in Cancer. So Cancer is a sign of protection of family. But this could bring a lot of potential miscommunications with friends and family. And frankly, it will bring miscommunications all around. And it's going to cause a lot of confusion, particularly around travel. And make sure you've got your computers before you send an email. Make sure you really read it a few times before you hit send. And really watch how you word things, because this is a time for reflection. I mean, all the re's, reflection, redo, those kind of things you want to look at when Mercury goes retrograde. And it will stay retrograde until August 11th. So travel around, I would say, from golly, well, probably starting now, uh, through mid-August will be will be challenging. And so pack your patience, pack an extra battery if you need that for your phone. Um, just know that people are stressed out there, especially during this period of time. And then finally, I'm going to talk about on July 24th, we have a new moon in Cancer, and that's with this yod, this finger of God. That's also very, I know I'm going to sound like a dumb record again. It is intense. So whenever we have a finger of God, it's intense. And this finger of God, this new moon is in Cancer, but it's opposed to Pluto. It's opposed Pluto. And alongside it's got Saturn and Neptune right there. And so Pluto is nuclear energy. So this could be a very big time here that could bring, the finger of God brings fated events. So brings a lot of intensity to the month of July. So really what you want to do is you want to slow it down. Don't drive fast, put your seatbelt on, hydrate, drink a lot of water, sleep, be kind as you can. And sometimes things just happen and you just blow up. That happens too. But just take good care of yourself and take care of your families, because this month will pass, but it brings a lot on. Just brings a lot on. So just wanted to talk about July, and if you're feeling the energy, I hope that explains a lot of that energy here. And it was so funny because and Margaret, I read your question. It says, what does the energy of Earth say about today? It says, it's just very rough. Technology. I mean, James and I couldn't do a show the other day due to technology. Technology issues will be a big deal, actually. So make sure you're plugging your stuff in and checking it and double checking it, that kind of a thing. But just know this, that there's a lot of growth during this period, a lot of agitation too. So that kind of energy. So you want to combat that by deep breathing, meditation, all the tools that you've learned, you'll be forced to use. It's a good thing. You'll learn how to navigate this because you're all potential masters out there, and you've got to master this kind of energy. Yes, I'm going to say it. We all wanted to be here this time. And you're like, no, I didn't. And let's talk about, there are so many people. Karen Abercrombie says, Kelly, so many great people are passing to the other side. I know. I've lost quite a few, actually. I agree with that. I'm surprised, but not surprised that Michael Madsen died. I'm surprised, but not really. And I did like him as an actor. I thought he was a great actor. And Bobby Sherman. I mean, what's happening to my generation? And it's just a lot. So with so many people, Karen says, how long does it take before a loved one sends you a sign that they are okay? Pretty much immediately. Now, if you are in grief, it's hard to see, but they send signs immediately. I mean, all of a sudden, you'll feel an energy, you'll feel something by you, or a feather will drop down, a bird will fly in your window, a butterfly will show up. So, if you're in too much grief, you might say, no, I don't feel it, I don't see it. Because if you are waiting for somebody to just materialize in front of you, although that can happen, it has happened. In fact, sometimes little kids will say, oh, look, I just saw, Grandpa so-and-so right there. Like the adult can't see it, but the child can. So that happens too. But just know your loved ones are wonderfully safe on the other side. Just know that, okay? Because that's really important here. And I also wanted Nancy Dominic. She says, I love you in your podcast. I love you, Nancy. She says, I have never believed in mediums because of your strict faith. Now, I've had several sessions with you, so I do know your husband has come through for me. So how do I know he's always with you? Oh my gosh, Nancy, he loves you. I know you're saying you're a wreck right now. Just hold on. You will be with him. You will be with him when it's your time. He's not going anywhere. Let me get you a card here, honey. Hold on a second. There you go. Sweet. He says, we will be together again. Okay, Nancy, hold on to that. Of course you will be. He's always going to be around you. He wouldn't leave his family, and he wouldn't leave his family alone, period. Okay, I just want everybody to know that. Our loved ones never leave us. They just don't. They're always around us. Let me see. Laura Crum says, hi, Laura. Can connecting with our soul give us more clarity to our life lessons and how they're important in this lifetime? Yes. So connecting with the soul, really what that means is the soul is how, when we pay a lot of attention to how we're feeling, the soul loves to feel joy. So you really want to get an expression of your soul, of who you are, is do something that brings you joy. Because then the soul goes, woohoo! Like for me, in the middle of chaos, I love to cook. I do. And my sister-in-law just brought us like 15 peaches. Thank you, Roseanne. There's a fellow that drives his truck from Georgia, they're Georgia peaches, all the way out to Wisconsin. And he goes to these small towns and he delivers fresh Georgia peaches. And they're so good. You have to wait for them to ripen. So my soul is just excited. It's all everything, because I'm going to either make peach ice cream or something, I don't know, with peaches. Because I love peaches, and we just don't get good peaches out here. So anyway, so whatever your soul connects with that brings you joy, that's the soul going, woohoo! And like the soul like lights up. So yes, and it's really important because it will bring us a lot of clarity, Laura, to our lives. Like what's important and what's not important. And that's the soul's job. What's important and what's not important. Yeah, we're all going to go through a lot of stuff. But what's important is that you don't lose sight of what brings you joy, what brings you close to other people, those kind of things. Okay, because that's really important. Jen Tran, happy birthday. I know your birthday is July 6th, right in the middle of all this, Jen. And you're a 9 of diamonds, so right around the corner. I bet you there's a lot of transformation for you, Jen, this year, meaning that you may not tolerate other people's stuff. You may not. You won't have the bandwidth to try to, especially if your birthday is right around this period. It will bring back old situations with this many retrogrades for you to look at. Like I'd say, give it a good challenge. You may have handled it when you were younger this way. And everybody can do this. You know, when you're younger, you might have done this. You get older, you might think differently. Now you may not, but you might. So anyway, let me get you a card from the Angel Numbers card. Ooh, 2134. 2134. Achievement. So I'm assuming, Jen, that you're going to do some sort of great achievement. And Marilyn Wiederman, happy birthday today, my Queen of Diamonds. So let's get you a card. So again, Marilyn, you're right at that energy of Neptune retrograding, among other things. And so I would say with you, Marilyn, it could bring back a lot of emotions, a lot of old people can come back whenever we have retrogrades. See, that here's another thing with retrogrades. It could bring us to a place of, do we really want to get connected again with somebody else? Because again, you'll use a lens. You don't have to use the lens that you had early on. You're growing and evolving. That means your lenses are changing. So in your case, Marilyn, it could bring back old situations again. So let's get you a card. Here we go. Woo. Oh, here we go. 427. So if you see the number 427, here we go, Marilyn. It's authenticity. So be very authentic. It's my favorite word. Honestly, it's probably my favorite word, authentic. Be very authentic. Whoever comes back into your life, just be the real you. Everybody can be the real authentic self. I would say it's safe to be you now, So I think that's really important here. Be yourself. You don't want to be somebody else here. You want to be yourself. Doreen Foxwell says, happy second half of the year. Gosh, you're right, Doreen. Is the second. It is. Yeah, therapy gal. The heat is on. Yep. Real intense day, Marge. Yep. It is. It just is a very intense time. Hi, Dee Dee from Chicago. Yeah, try to stay grounded and accept the fact that we're having a growth experience. And what I talked about during our Roots of Healing was that we're moving from the karma to the dharma. And how does that work? It works because you start to view things differently, therefore making different choices. And ultimately, dharma is to be of service of others. So maybe this time period that we're in, this timeline we'll call it, of kind of war and terrorism, could bring out the hero in you, could bring out your chance to make help some people a lot. So it could be that too. I mean, we all are exploring this energy because it really sets us up for making big choices and big changes in how we have been. And I think I said this last week, and if I didn't, I'm going to repeat it. I was watching a woman who's a spiritual guru. She's actually very bright. But one of the things she said was, we have thousands and thousands of lives. And I was like, thousands and thousands of lives? I don't buy into that. I don't think so. I think we have several, but I don't know, thousands and thousands. And then she said the following: we have thousands of lives because think how long it takes for somebody to make a change, a small change. And I was like, well, yeah, she's right. Check. That tracks. And so if you don't want to be the one of those thousands and thousands of lives to make a change, get really conscious now of where you are, what you're feeling, what you can let go of, and make good choices so you get out of this kind of karmic bubble. And that's what this energy will represent, because it will throw us into chaos. Chaos is, on some levels, the greatest tool ever to grow. So think like that. Marilyn McCormick says, we lost a dear family friend of 37 years old. Oh, he was 37. Oh, I'm sorry. Or dear family friend for 37. My son's birthday is 7/28. His close friend passed. I'm so sorry. So your son is a king of hearts. Bless his heart, Marilyn. I'm sorry. King of hearts takes on an awful lot. You know, it's both like mother and father on some level, and they feel everything just deeply. I'm sorry to hear that. Just know that he's around. Know that your son can talk to him anytime. Okay. Yeah, Jen Garney says, can I say uncle? That's very funny. Yeah, say it. And then maybe your dead uncle will come by. So you never know, right? You just never know how that works. Maggie Landis, hi, Kelly. Wow. You and James have been on target about things going on. As you say, cattywampus. It's true. She said, I feel oddly calm in the midst of it, almost like the eye of a hurricane. Maggie, fantastic. Now that, I'm going to get you a card. That's a good one, Maggie. Here we go. Interesting. 2222. Now this says twin flame. I never really thought of that as a twin flame. So maybe, Maggie, you will be meeting somebody, or something that brings you a lot of love. Here we go. 2222. I'll be darned. I never looked at it that way. Okay, so, oh yes, you can, okay, Perez Family Childcare. I need a card, please. You got it, honey. And your birthday is 9/6, and September 6th is a 5 of diamonds. And 5 of diamonds is all about self-worth and angels. So let's get you an angel card. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. 444, which means angels, which means protection, honey. So you're very protected. There you go. Always know that. And it's funny. That's what I said. 5 of diamonds. You're always protected. Hi, Judy. Does your destiny change according to your free will? I'm going to talk about All Souls Retreat. Thank you, Renee. Hold on. Let me just finish this and then I will get that. Does your destiny change according to your free will choices? Or end up the same destiny with a different path? Good question. So does destiny change according to our free will choices? Yes, it can. Absolutely. And then there are I believe it's a tricky question because certain things are just destined. Even if we make the best possible free will choices, some things are destined. Some things are not destined. And we keep choosing the same way. And so we'll keep picking the same kind of situation. But some things are just destined. Some things are what we call fated events. And some things there's just a destiny. But you can make a lot of really good choices that lead to a new destiny. And that would be a great thing to do. Hi, Julianne Siegel. Oh my gosh, I love you, Julianne. I owe you a call. I'm so sorry. I've been so busy. Hi, Julianne. She's great in fact, Julianne is going to be with me speaking at Jen Weigel's All Souls Retreat. It's the 8th annual All Souls Retreat on November 7th to the 9th here in beautiful Wisconsin. So I don't have to go too far, which is like a first. And it's only like maybe an hour and a half from my house. So I'm so happy about this. But Jen Weigel and Amy, they do the best job for this weekend. They bring out all kinds of great speakers, and it's all spiritual. And I think we only have, I think they keep it limited to 200 people. And it's a beautiful hotel. And it's, what else do we have? Lots of psychics and mediums are there, so you can always get different readings. I don't do that, but I'm one of the speakers. And Julianne is going to be speaking about feng shui. She's a great feng shui person. My gosh, she's got a great book out too with that. And I'm really excited, Julianne. I get to work with you there. I'm so excited because we went together the last year. And Jen, I'm going to have Jen and Amy on the show for a few minutes to talk about, not today, but in the next 2 or 3 weeks to talk about it, because they can give you the full idea of what goes on. But if you want to be in this area, it's the best energy. People are so kind. It's fun. It's very active. They put on the best event. It's like you come in on Friday and you leave on a Sunday. It's fantastic. And it's a fall during this time in Wisconsin, which is really beautiful, I have to say. So if you're if you feel like attending, just come on out. It'll be great. Hi, Rita. Happy Independence Day to you too. Hi, Carolyn. Yeah, it is intense. And she says, I must remind myself and Rick that we are okay no matter what. Yes. Follow your spiritual path. I didn't say all of this to get anybody, frazzled. Honestly, I just kind of want to validate the energy. And astrology gives us a roadmap. That's why I love it. Vedic astrology is really accurate. It's right where the stars align, and it gives us a roadmap. And on Earth, we didn't come here because it's easy. There are a lot of places we could have gone that are easy, but our souls won't grow as much. And the thing about coming to Earth, particularly at this time, it's about growth. Straight out growth. And so there will be a lot of opportunities to feel this way or to feel strongly about this, whatever it happens to be. And then to make a choice, maybe to help somebody, to make a choice of what's good for you, what's good for somebody else. And again, this kind of energy leads you to why you incarnated. Many of us will say the question to me, at least, is what's my purpose? Well, guess what? You may be discovering a purpose right now. You may be, because of the stress and the earthly situations that occur, it could bring out the best in you. It could bring out like, whoa, I did this. I was Clara Barton, I was Florence Nightingale. I mean, think like that. It could bring that kind of thing up for people. Okay. Always bring in the angels if you need any support in that sense of you're feeling helpless or anything. Always bring in the archangels, bring in the angels. They're always around. Just ask them to be there. They're always around. And if you'd like to come and to have a session with me, I'm available in July. So July, during this month, if it gets real heated up, I have some sessions still available in my July calendar. I only book out 1 month in advance. I don't like to go too far out. So I just do 1 month in advance. And then I will also be doing, this one sold out in July. It's called The Power of 10, but I'll be doing one I'll do one every month. August, September, I'll be doing one every month. Okay. Because I think people really like that. Yes. So, and Independent 87 says, Kelly, I hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you. Felt Archangel Michael's presence strongly while doing meditation yesterday. Fantastic. Now, let me say this about Archangel Michael. If you are on this new road of spirituality, let's say this is new for you, and that archangel is amazing about bringing comfort and clarity and guiding you on the spiritual road. First of all, you're never alone. It's not possible. But he always works with. He loves young mediums. He works with mediums. He works with psychics. He does extraordinary stuff here. So, which is really kind of amazing. No, Julie Musterman. No, that song I have not Don and I have not published that song. Don's got fabulous music. And if you want to listen to some great music for calming and meditation, go to donmarquese.com, DonMarkese.com. And you can read all about Don, and you can look at his music and listen to his music. It's beautiful. Great for meditation. He is a master's master in music, literally. So, hi, Suzanne Giller. Yes, would you like a card? Let me get you a card here, honey. Here we go. Release 999. Release. There you go. So 999s also represent endings and finishings, and so time to release. Oh my God, Carla, I love that beautiful shirt. Thank you very much. I've been kind of in a pinkish red mood. Okay, Patricia Aldana, will there be a predicted great earthquake in Japan on July 5th, tomorrow or next month? I've heard that, Patricia. Nothing would surprise me. This energy is set for earthquakes. It would not surprise me at all. Could happen. Jan Hennessy, greetings, soul family. Much love. Today is UGG. Right on, Jan. It's pain. Yep. It's fatigue. Yep. And crazy dreams. Yes, yes, yes. I agree with all of that. You know what? Let's get you a card, Jan. This is tough. 9. Oh, dear God. Oh, well, here we go. Just pick this. Oh, dear God. I'm just going to show it to you. 911, inevitability. So somewhere along the Japan earthquake and the experience that we are having this month, and I did talk about 9/11. I didn't even know this card was in this deck. It's only the second time I've used this card of this deck. So yeah, it's a possibility, and that's a butterfly. Butterflies mean transformation, So yeah, inevitable. I do think that there are some fated events that are inevitable, frankly. Cornelia Sinclair, hello from Sydney, Australia, and you are May 22nd. I love Sydney, Australia, and I have a lot of dear friends there, and I love it. Here we go. May 22 is a 10 of clubs. So 10 of clubs is what we call a brain that has a brain. Wildly intuitive, extremely intuitive. Let me get you a card. 888. Abundance. There, Cornelia. Abundance. That's wonderful. And Carla, let me get you a card. So your birthday was June 3rd. June 3rd, Ace of Spades. Whoa. Ace of Spades, very, very, very powerful. Born into the deepest part of the ocean, as they say. You come for deep, deep transformation here. And spiritual knowledge is everything. So let me get you a card. 808, security. But also, isn't 808 the area code for Hawaii? Maybe you'll be making a trip. But either way, it's security, Carla. I think that's really good. Davika, hi Davika. Can you help me getting a message from my daughter who crossed over in 2023? Let's get you I got chills. She's around you, Mama. I got chills here with that. Let's get you a card here from her. Oh boy. She says, my death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to any guilt. Okay? So I hope that has some meaning for you there. Okay, just know she's definitely around. I can feel her energy. Julie Musterman says, with these energies, I've not been able to sleep much. It's true, Julie. It's very true. Constantly waking up, very restless. So any advice for being able to rest soundly amongst all the cattywampus? I like that, the cattywampus. Well, stop caffeine after 12 o'clock. No more caffeine. Noon. No more caffeine. Work out. Put down your phone in another room, walk away. I don't sleep anywhere near my phone. My phone is always in my office, and I sleep in it. There's no way I would have my phone near me. And really do a calming meditation before you go to bed. That's so good for you. It's just, and have what you're grateful for. It's easy to go into the negatives and all that, but don't go there because you can't sleep if you have that. So you go into the positives. Go into what you're grateful for. Okay? So Karen Wilson says, I am a Leo and I have 3 yods in my birth chart. Wow, Karen, that's huge. Yep. So that means you would have many destined events in your life. And also, but destined for learning, destined for growing, destined for, for your whole life path to change. So there you go. Vera Tugwell, what type of things are you selling in your new shop? Well, I have, unfortunately, I dropped one of them somewhere. I have this beautiful angel wing keychains and I think necklaces and earrings. They're so beautiful that I have to have Michelle put a picture up because now I don't have one. But I have these incredible mugs or tumblers and mugs. I love this tumbler. I can still hear the ice is still in there. And I put this ice in early this morning. And this one says, Earth is an easy school, said no soul ever, which is what I said. So there's some beautiful things. Take a look at it. My book is online and my audio book is coming out, I believe, the beginning of August. So this is very, very exciting for me. So go to my new store. You'll see some new things, kelleewhite.com/shop. And again, if you'd like a session with me, I am available in July. So go ahead and check. And Kathy Dzudnik says, yes, please, there are, if you want an in-depth reading with me, I do have some spaces in July. So Kathy Dzudnik says, I've been seeing numbers 333. So 333 are the Ascended Masters. They're there. They're ready to help. And 555 now for 2 days in a row. So 555 means great change. It means change is coming for you. And that's a good thing. So, and Debbie Wallace, Marge Webb, got my tumbler the other day. That's the one I got. Oh, thank you, Marge. I love this. This was designed by Fern. Fern is part of our marketing team, and she does the most beautiful things. I'm telling you. And her dad is this whiz. You've got to check this angel keychain out. It's just my favorite. Anyway, and I just love this. I can't tell you how much I use this literally all day long. And so, Debbie Wallace, your birthday is May 16th, 1958, and you've had a bad day. I'm sorry, honey. And that is a 3 of diamonds, which doesn't have it easy. Let's get you a card, though. I'm sorry you've had a bad day. I would venture to guess that most people have had a bad couple of days. Is what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that this is a good one, Debbie. 111 manifestation. Woo, doggies, as they say. This is a really good one. So whenever I see 111, I always think, ooh, make a wish. It means new beginnings, Debbie. This is the card you want. This and the 444s. This is a really good card. Very good. All right. Independence says already many intense situations with fireworks in a warehouse in Mashpee, Massachusetts blew up, and a house in California. I saw the one in California, but Mashpee, that's a funny name, Massachusetts. Mashpee, Massachusetts. But it blew up. I'm so sorry. What a drag. I'm telling you, watch the fireworks. Really. I mean, you can watch them, but try not to get too close to them because there could be, again, these energies are, they're just hard. They're really hard. So take really good care of yourself. Nurture yourself. Drive carefully. Be kind. Everybody's on a learning curve right now. Try to just be nice and gentle if you can. Okay. So good. Have a good week. Have a safe week. All right. Have a safe week. And I will be back next Thursday. All right. So take care, my friends. Look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.